Okay, guys, so I think in class you probably got through 1 through 7, I would hope. So I'll just start on 8. We'll try to get through these. Um, Here it says find the slope. And so, if I want the slope, right, I want to get this equation, this is standard form, and I want to get it into slope-intercept form, because then it's really easy to see what the slope is, right? So I want to get y by itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this number over here and I'm going to subtract it from both sides. All right, so that goes away and I get y equals, now I'm going to put, I could say 8 minus 3x, or I could say minus 3x plus 8. And I'm only doing it that way so it looks like this y equals mx plus b. And then right in front of the x, that is my slope, negative 3. Now here, I've got this function, a of m, all right, where a month is going in, right? That's my independent variable, is the months. And what comes out is the amount of money in Annie's bank account. All right, so it says find the slope. So that's going to be rise over run, right? So a lot of you put 1/4, actually negative, right? Because you went down 1 and over 4. Now here's the thing. Notice this down 1 is going from 140 to 120. All right, so this 1 is actually going down 20. All right, so it's negative 20. But you still, since the months is in going 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, this is still 4 months. Okay, so it went down $20 over a period of 4 months. All right, and then you always reduce the slope, and that would be negative 5 if you divide it. All right, remember that is the slope is always the same as the rate of change. So when you're answering this question, explaining what the slope represents, right, it is, it says Annie loses $5, right, minus 5 per month. All right, that is the rate of change. It's $5 per month. Okay, the slope is rate of change. Hopefully you can read that. All right, so after how many months will Annie's account have $100? So here's $100 right here. Right here's 100. So that would be right here. So just going to go down one more, right? So she was here, this is at 120, so down one more to 100, and then remember the slope is constant, so you go over 1, 2, 3, 4, right? The next point would be right here. So that would be after 10, 11. So after 12 months, right? Annie's account is going to have $100. And if I wanted to write an equation, I could say y, which is the amount of money, right, is equal to negative 5 times the number of months, right, x, plus, and then my y-intercept here is 160. All right. And this is saying, okay, when is there going to be $100 here? When is the amount of money going to equal $100? And so then I would subtract 160. So I get negative 60 equals negative 5x. Divide by negative 5, divide by negative 5. And so x equals 12 months. All right, so if you wanted to do it just purely algebraically with an equation, you could do that, or you could look on the graph and see that at 12 months, I'm going to have $100. Okay, now I have the line x equals -2. Remember VUX? All right, so when I have x equals something, that's going to be a vertical line with an undefined slope. And so x is -2, so that's my x-intercept, right? All the points here are going to be x equals -2. So it's going to be this vertical line. Pretend that goes through that point. That goes through x equals when x is -2. And then here I've got, this is in point slope form, right? Remember, point slope form is y minus y1 equals the slope times x minus x1, okay? Where x1 and y1 are a point on this line, okay? So what that means is that y1 is 4, right? And x1 is going to, notice it's this minus x is turned into plus 6. So what that means is that this was really, my y is going to be 4, a positive 4, but my x value, if I have minus a -6, then minus a negative ends up being this positive right here. So my x value is -6, right? It's always the opposite. So my x value is a -6, my y value is a positive 4. So this is a point that is on this line. So I'll graph that, -6, positive 4. That is a point on the line. Remember, if you're going to graph a line, you need a point. Second, you use the slope to get your next point, okay? So here is my slope, right? -1/2. So I'm going to go down 1 over 2, and I'm going to put a point there, and I'm going to do that a couple of times. So there's a point here, down 1 over 2. Put a point here, down 1 over 2. All right, and then I just kind of connect the dots here. All right, so that is graphing a line when you have point, that is called point slope form. Now we're using slope intercept form. So I need to find the slope, right? So I've got m equals y minus y, right? The change in y over the change in x. All right, so that is going to be, these are my y's, right? So I'm going to take 7 minus -2. And then these are my x's. So then I'm going to take 5 minus 5. All right, minus a negative, that's 7 plus 2, so that's 9. 5 minus 5 is 0. Now if I try to divide by 0, right, it's impossible because any number times 0 is going to be 0. So you cannot do it. Again, notice if my x's are the same, right, that means it's not a function. All right, so that is actually going to be undefined slope, right? But I want an equation, right? So the equation is going to be x equals, always, x is going to be 5, right? Remember, VUX. If I have a vertical line, it's an undefined slope, so that's always going to be x equals something. And in this case, x is always equal to 5. All right, and then now I want to circle all the equations that represent this graph. So here's my y-intercept, 4, and then the slope is positive. So I go Up, this has a slope of 1/2, so that would be up 1 over 2, so it's not that one. All right, so the slope is definitely 2. Okay, the slope has to be 2. So here's a point where the slope is definitely 2. Now the point that's on this line, okay, remember, would be an x-coordinate of -1 and a y-coordinate of 2. So let's see, -1, y is 2. So that is a point on the line, right? And if I go up 2 over 2, that's the point. So this looks good. Okay. And now here I have a y-intercept of 4, so that's good. Slope of 2, so I'm going to circle that guy. All right. This one is a nice easy one. I just want to subtract 2x to get that in slope intercept form, so that would be y equals -2x plus 4, so that is not it, right? That's a negative slope. This is +2 for a slope, but this is the wrong intercept, so I'm going to cross that out. And then this one, again, I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. So I get -y equals -2x minus 4. Divide everybody by -1. So positive equals +2x plus 4. So that works.